Welcome back to Black News Tonight. It is now time to see what's going on in these digital streets. On the eve before Derek Chauvin's sentencing, statues memorializing George Floyd had been defaced. The two statues were vandalized in Brooklyn, New York, and Newark, New Jersey. In Brooklyn, the phrase Patriot Front, a white nationalist hate group, was found spray painted at the base of the statue. A statue that had only been unveiled a few days ago. And in Newark, George Floyd's face was covered in black with the name of the same hate group, Patriots Front. Surprisingly, no arrests have been made and authorities are still investigating. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences will be presenting Samuel Jackson and Danny Glover with honorary awards at the 12th Annual Governor's Awards. That'll take place next year in January. Jackson will be receiving an honorary Oscar, while Glover will be honored with the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award in recognition of his philanthropic efforts. What exciting news. You know, so often our actors don't get recognition. I mean, when you think about how few people get Grammys in music, how many people don't get Tonys in theater, and how many people don't get Oscars in film. And I'm not just talking about actors in general, I'm talking specifically about black actors who do such extraordinary work and get overlooked. It's always wonderful to see that work acknowledged. Samuel Jackson has appeared in more films than anybody in human history, certainly modern American history. He's played extraordinary roles and memorable roles in so many things, and yet the Oscar still eludes him. Danny Glover, well, it's not just Lethal Weapon. We're talking about Mr. and The Color Purple. He deserves all the shine, all the love for his acting. But Danny Glover has done something else, and that's why this humanitarian award is so significant. Danny Glover has been a freedom fighter. Danny Glover has stood up and said South African apartheid is wrong. He stood up and said the occupation of Palestine is wrong. He stood up in Venezuela, Cuba, Chile, Uganda, Sudan, and of course these United States, and said that oppression anywhere is wrong, and he's willing to use his face and his voice, his power, his privilege, and his platform to do something about it. So many people out here are scared. So many people out here are worried about what's going to happen to their next job. They're worried about whether they'll get the next role. They're worried about whether they'll lose popularity points, whether they won't be put on that magazine cover, whether they'll lose followers if they take a controversial position, if they take a dangerous position. But never has that been Danny Glover's position. Danny Glover's always stood tall. He's always been brave, and that's why we honor him. That's why we honor anybody who does that kind of work, because they're standing in a tradition of extraordinary people like Paul Robeson. They're standing in an extraordinary tradition that now Danny Glover is at the forefront of. So salute to you and salute to everyone giving them awards. All right, let's talk about Kenya Barris. Kenya Barris took to IG to clear up some recent comments with The Hollywood Reporter. The showrunner opened up about walking away from a $100 million deal, saying Netflix became, quote, CBS. And he since corrected his statement, saying Netflix is only CBS in that they are effing huge. Since his departure, Barris has partnered with Viacom CBS and BET to form a boutique studio, along with the first look deal from Paramount Studios and a podcast deal with Audible. I'm just happy that the brother is taking his destiny into his own hands. I'm proud of Kenya Barris for making content that he believes in, but also walking away and making better opportunities for himself. Some people like, look, $100 million, that's a lot of money. I ain't leaving. And look, the Black News Channel gave me $100 million, and if y'all listening, I'll take it. There's a good chance I ain't walking away from it. I don't care what y'all ask me to do, within reason. But he had the courage to walk away from that and said, even if it's less money or potentially more, what's more important is my future, my ability to create art that reflects my goals, my vision, my creativity. That's extraordinary, man. So shout out to Kenya Barris, my brother, for doing that and for leading the way for so many others. All right, let's talk about some hip hop. Comedian Lil Duval recently made a comparison of DaBaby and Ludacris. He said they were similar, and that caused Twitter to chime in. Duval tweeted, DaBaby is this generation's Ludacris. That's exactly what he said, and the Twitter users didn't let's just say they didn't feel that. After jokes came flying, Duval came back to clarify his statement, following up with, not that I care, but when did the debate turn into who's the most lyrical? I never compared the baby lyrical skills or career to Luda. That's how y'all took it because that's how y'all wanted to interpret it, but continue. So if you weren't talking about his lyrical skill, cool, what were you talking about? They don't have a similar image. They don't have a similar engagement with their fans. They don't have similar content or flow or style. The baby's not appearing in movies. So what are you talking about? I think my frustration with it, and I wasn't out there killing the baby about this, but my thing is, we're so quick to give the new generation all the awards, all the praise, all the comparisons. This is the next, Usher. No, it's not. It's not. It's Trey Songz. And Trey Songz is cool, but Trey Songz is not Usher. And the person after Trey Songz might not be Trey Songz. You get what I'm saying? The baby is dope. I like the baby, and I like some of the stuff that he does. I disagree with a lot of stuff that he does, and he's been acting the fool with regard to his Megan stuff, so I'm unfortunately taking him off of all my playlists. But I'm talking about as an artist prior to the ridiculousness. I understood the talent, but he ain't Luda. Luda done won awards, done put up albums for years, and had the best features on so many tracks. He's got classics, as we saw in the verses he did with Nelly. So let's not compare this new generation to the old generation so quick. Respect the old heads, respect the game, respect the G's, all right?